We are live and I've lost control of my mouse. Why did it take over my mouse? Sorry. Freaking out over here. We're live.
Said no.
Are we live?
We are actually legitimately live. Welcome to World Weavers. This is the collaborative world building actual play experiment. My name is Grant Milkey. I'm the DM. Today I'm joined by my lovely weavers and players. They are Andy Hatfield.
Oh, I'm caught off guard, even though I'm usually first. Rain, and we are weaving some terrible things today, and then we get to experience them later. How much fun is that?
Andrew McClelland.
With a voice that can soothe the hearts of the angriest giants and rouse the spirits of the bravest warriors, Altair's bardic talents are unrivaled.
Emily Folger.
Father Nespin, so excited and so frightened.
Aaron Fitzgerald.
Keith, I'd heard catastrophically claustrophobic, which is quite unfortunate for where we are at the moment.
And Maggie Borden.
Roxy Brassmantle just doing her best to make some friends, even if she's gotta weave them.
Wow. Previously on World Weavers.
Terrifying.
Yeah, what happened to Roxy?
It's so dark.
Previously on World Weavers, our beloved players got their bearings and headed off in the direction that the Ankeg and insectoid creature had skittered off with Randall. They eventually came across a crevice, at the bottom of which was a cave opening and some fresh water. A strange statue, which the Weavers were unable to identify, stood sentinel over the entrance. The entrance was trapped, Rain found out, stating those born of Essence were not allowed to enter. They eventually, with only a few explosions, 3 or 4, figured out that Altair could pass safely. And upon Altair's utterance of a prayer in Celestial, the trap dissipated, and they were all able to cross. In the cave, they found the entrance to a vast world below Squirter, which we've tentatively called the Underscar. If anyone comes up with a better name than that, that's just like my working title so far, so feel free to shout it out. I've heard a couple ideas. Underdark, the Below, I can't remember any others, but feel free to name it during your turn. We filled the Underscar with some tight, winding caves. The theme music is way too epic for what I'm saying right now. I need to come up with some like introductory music. We're learning while we go. What was I talking about? Oh, the Underscar we filled with like a tight, winding cave system. There was a strange mushroom, like mycelium growth, like think like the long, tendrily stalks of mushroom growing through this Underdark here. And a lot of cute little glowing cave critters. The tunnels are lined with celestial runes, which cause the mushroom growths to glow. But the places where the light does not reach, things start to get a little weird. So for the first time ever, I took a break right in the middle of weaving and gave all of you 2 weeks to come up with whatever terrible things we're going to put down here. I obviously don't care. You're the ones who are going to have to confront all of the things that you put there. But that's where we're at. So if anyone has any questions or needs to acclimate at all to where we ended up, or where we left off, then speak now, forever hold your peace. After which we'll be going to Rain to continue building out this Underscar.
I feel like we should call it Rut Rocks, because that's Scorcher backwards.
The Rut Rocks.
Rut
What rocks?
Rut
I
Rocks.
think that
You take Scorcher
just to
and
be
flip it upside down.
funny and humorous, we should take a suggestion from TikTok, and they suggested the underwear.
No.
Oh.
So we've got Rut Rocks, which is Scooby-Doo to me,
Rut Rocks.
and underwear.
That's
I
fair.
just vote the below. That's my pitch in.
See, I like the Underscar. I think
Yeah,
that
I'm a
sounds
big fan
cool.
of the Underscar too. I like that.
Underscar is good.
Okay. Well, Underscar is until something jumps out at anybody. Feel free to speak up if that happens. Um, so, just as we went through the last weaving, remember that it's a kind of a steep incline, very tight areas and winding tunnels. The majority of them are like single file. They seem to get a little wider and a little larger the deeper you get. But for the most part, they are pretty tight and claustrophobic. There are a few other entrances around Scorter, but they're not like widely known. It's not like a shortcut or anything to that effect. It's just there are a few different places where you can enter here across the continent of Scorter. And I think the way they were described by Emily was like spider trap entrances, which is terrifying. There is that mycelium network that I mentioned. It glows, and every few feet you can see celestial runes, these like golden to fierce blue runes. And how far they go, no one knows. It seems like they go all the way down as far as has been seen or has been charted. And the areas where those do not reach, there seems to be some type of strange fog. Things start to get a little weird. Laws of physics stop lying. Very black and dark. And the closer you get to the scar, the weirder it gets. So we're not going to roll for new influence. And we are starting straight off with Rain. Do you have something you want to dive into, or would you like
Yes.
me to?
Nope,
Okay.
I got it.
All right.
There's
Confident.
Exciting.
a lot of water down here,
Oh,
but not in the like in weird ways though. Like sometimes in some tunnels, it's just like running down the walls. There might be like a random like little waterfall somewhere. There might be a small stream running along the path at some point, and it just seems to like continue as you go down, going to somewhere. And there might be like occasional pauses where there's a small body of water, but like you don't know where it's coming from since Scripture is super dry, and you're not really sure where it's going to, but it's just a lot of wet.
Where's it from? Where's it going? You realize that's nightmare fuel with the tight winding tunnels, right? Like the descent
Yep.
type
Slip
stuff.
and
Okay.
slide. Slip and slide.
100%.
Wow.
Here
A
for it.
classic World Weavers water feature, even down here.
Yep. Gotta have it. Rain's gotta have her water feature everywhere.
Now,
Absolutely.
does that start
I would like-
immediately, or is that when they start to get a little bit deeper?
I would say it starts almost immediately. Like maybe not like as soon as you walk in, but pretty quick you start to realize that like there's oddly water coming from somewhere.
I mean, it is right below that oasis, right? That's
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Right. and
I'm
that
sorry,
oasis
really
might connect to it.
quickly. Grant, someone said in the chat, what music? Is there music that is playing?
There's not now. I stopped the music.
Oh, okay.
I would like to yes and make the water flow the opposite way.
That's fine.
It is not. It is not flowing down. It is flowing from somewhere upwards along the ceilings, up towards the walls, up towards somewhere, rather than flowing down the caverns.
Interesting.
Okay. Well, it sounds like Rain's fine with that.
I'll
So go
happily
ahead
let
and-
you spend an influence point to have the water go the wrong way.
Yeah, go ahead and spend your influence point. Water
Now I have
flows up. Give me just 1 second here. Can anyone open the stream? Maybe Dandy, can you
On-
open it on TikTok and on YouTube and just make sure that the mix is okay for me? I'd rather pause and make sure we're
What
10
mix?
out of 10. The audio.
Yeah,
mix.
everything sounds good here on YouTube.
You can hear me and everyone else?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much. I just didn't want to go 2 hours and then find out the audio was bad. Awesome.
And the water flowing reverse works for all the water. Like yes and all the water reverses. Like every water in the caves reverses. Like instead of
Oh.
flowing down.
I thought we were talking about planetary, and I was like, whoa, 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 whoa.
No. All water in the caves flows upwards. instead of downwards.
So, do you picture it just like going like magically into the ceiling, or is it like
It's almost like gravity just got flopped.
pools
Like,
of
literally.
water at the like ceiling?
Yeah,
at
pools
the
of
very
water
top?
at the ceiling.
Okay.
Yeah. And all water that gets brought into it, all water is up instead of down.
So, like, if you had a flask with water in it and just poured it out, it would
Yep.
float into the air.
Yep.
Oh,
That is my
That's
yes
intriguing.
and.
that's intriguing.
Does that include blood?
Yes. All liquids.
Oh.
What
All
about urine?
All liquids.
Okay. Well, nobody cry.
No.
Nobody.
Um,
Just-
Okay. All liquids go up. Does anyone have anything to say about that before we move on? Because Andy is not contesting.
Rationale for liquids going up again?
It's almost as if gravity just got flopped. There's no, I don't think there's any specific reason, but water is just going up out of the ground now from some unseen source.
from what I'm hearing, it's the liquids are essentially denser than the air.
Or lighter than the air
Sorry,
is
yes.
denser than the
Yeah.
liquids. Yeah.
Why would it not appear on the surface then?
That's up for someone else to decide.
The scar's weird.
Going somewhere.
Well, I can already tell you that bit if someone else doesn't come up with anything.
It's all in Bandstool.
This is about to get written down in stone forever, unless anyone says anything. Going
Yeah,
once, going twice.
I'll just say, I'm not necessarily hearing a reason.
There is no
why?
reason. I did not come up with a reason. I simply said water is reversed. There's no reason. That's just how it is.
Water's reversed.
Like mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Why indeed?
There's no logic.
Can I
It just is.
yes but that?
Sure.
That's
water
why
is
we're here,
reversed.
baby.
Water is reversed, but it only occurs, like the reversal only occurs once you've reached a certain depth. Currently, it is.
Oh.
I dig
Everything's-
that.
Currently,
Yeah.
Wait,
everything
so-
is still going downhill up
Is
until
there like
a point.
Is it like a plane where like the down and the up meet and it's just a sheet of water then? Like how would that work?
Oh, that's cool.
Ooh, sort of like the upside down.
That-
Yeah, where it's just a sheet of water.
Where it's essentially two waterfalls meeting and
Yeah.
like reversing back.
I would
on
like to just think it's a
themselves.
And then it's
very
like the
flat
shadow
plane
fell.
of water. And it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
Like Pirates of the Caribbean.
really,
where you
really, really
flip through the
shallow.
water and go to the other
Mhm.
side. Yep.
All right,
that.
I like that.
Dandy, go ahead and spend an influence point, and Maiko, spend your influence point.
Mhm.
And we've got a point of liquid reversal.
Yep.
What happens if you pee in the middle of that point?
It just gets stuck there.
Only 3 people know.
Grant, just to be clear, I had
Yeah.
19 influence points to start, and then I minused 1, so I'm at 18, correct?
Wow. That's a lot of
Jeez.
influence, my dude.
I'm trying to remember, because I have 19 written down here for something.
I'm certainly not tracking it. And I trust you.
Okay, because I know I got 2 additional at the end, the very end of last session, so... Okay.
I have 6. So you've got
Don't
have
tell.
13.
Don't tell.
Brag.
Don't tell. Okay. Fava. Do you have anything, or would you like to follow my little?
I'm curious what your prompt is because my thought, Andy and I are apparently the same person because that was 100% my initial thought as well. So I'm
Sorry.
curious as to what your prompt
Water
could be.
going up was your thought.
No, just water. We're under the oasis. Maiko
Oh,
had the
okay.
water going up.
That's
Andy
true.
had the
Okay.
water
All right,
in
all
the
right, all right.
caves.
I was like, what a weird thing for two people to think. So I wanted there to be remnants of a ancient like civilization, like some city or people that lived down here, or perhaps it wasn't always underground or something to that effect. And I was going to have you tell me a little bit about them.
Oh, yeah. That actually, so one of the things I was thinking of is we have the celestial carvings in the wall. In combination with that, I want there to be some carved reliefs up towards the top. And then as we get deeper, those reliefs are they're essentially the precursor to a ruined city. That may or may not be reversed. Do we have to go through the reversal plane? Who knows? But there are definitely some
everything.
some carved reliefs as we first get into the cave and start going deeper that then reflect either a story or there are similar elements to a ruined city that we find deeper in.
Tell me a little bit about the city. Is this something that's been ruined for a long time? Is this something that there may still be inhabitants? Is this
I think it's the type of city that you're not sure how. It is definitely ruined or on the edge of ruin, but you're not sure how long. It's one of those where it could be ancient or it could be that it's been left alone for 50 years because it is well preserved, but there are parts that are crumbling. There is moss growing on it. Is that intentional? Who knows? We still don't know if there's life down there, so. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
How built into is this a big clearing in the caves, or is this built into the caves? Is this
Both.
going to be more of okay, so there's some verticality to the city?
Yeah, so there is a central cavern-ish area that has some, what I would assume is the bigger buildings, the bazaar as we would know it, things like that. And then there are smaller, built into the surrounding walls, outcroppings, things like that. Cool.
Love it.
I'm already getting some art ideas from this.
Can I yes and?
You don't have
Yeah.
to ask, my dude.
Okay. This ancient city or this ancient series of constructs that one might see if they were to travel into the caves is the place where the survivors made a civilization beneath the surface of the world when the gods punched it.
I will refute that, because in lore we had it that it was wiped.
Oh, the whole
the
the whole
punch.
planet.
Not the whole planet, but the island of Skortur was wiped of everything.
But that was
So-
the surface. Right?
True. Yeah.
So are you saying survivors from Scorcher went down there, or just survivors in general?
Just in general.
So it could have been
Oh,
from
okay.
outside Scorcher came and...
Or they were
Burned
already
or
the
already
way the
underground.
way I imagine it, it's like the film Deep Impact, where they're like, yeah, we have these caves that we've built in Missouri. And the survivors, there's a lottery system, and people they survive beneath the surface of the world for a time until it's no longer apocalyptic winter out.
So I guess if I can kind of bring everything together, what we're saying is that this city, it was before the Undoing. So this city predates the Undoing. Is that what you were proposing?
I think so. That this was a city that was built to basically survive, and a select
Okay.
few survived, and then they left after a time, or something else happened.
Okay.
That's why they're no longer here. Or maybe they are. I don't know.
So somebody got some sort of warning that it was coming, or some sort of prophecy or something, or just whatever that was. So any resistance, this would be Fava's turn to this city in the Underscar predating the Undoing.
I'm okay with that. I want to compromise a little bit.
Okay.
It did not get very big. It is
Oh, yeah.
still, if there is a civilization still down there, it is still a very small group, or it didn't become this like bustling place.
I think
Right,
he
yeah.
agrees that it's. I think he agrees that it's still abandoned. Like it's still abandoned. It just once was.
If there was a civilization down there, it got about as big as it got, and then they left, or something happened to them.
Great.
That
That's-
caused
yeah.
them to no longer be there.
I'm fine with that. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't a bustling hub that was underneath the scar for hundreds of
Oh
years.
man, no
and-
weird shopping in the underground. Weird
I mean, there might still be. just
There
not-
could be some weird theft in the underground now because it's all abandoned.
Is it theft if they left it there?
I mean,
True.
It's just grave
take
robbing
that
at
up with the
point.
archaeologists.
Is it theft if they left it there? It's like the whole British Empire's thing.
I mean, Rain does have a British accent, so I mean,
Yeah.
Purposes.
I don't see any reason not to.
Altair, this is just the prompt. You can throw it out and come up with your own thing if you so desire. I wanted to know what I'm going to be calling level 2. So after we've gone down a few hundred feet, I think we already know that there's some sort of like gravitational shift or something that causes something weird with the liquids. But I was curious for some more features of this level 2. So as we get deeper, does anything change? Does anything architecturally or anything like that change? Is there any major landmark down there, or do you have anything for the second level
So
of the Underscar?
this is actually I love Miko's idea because it was I think it's sort of like I like the overall idea of there being a change in how water flows, and I was thinking that there might be some arcane magic that exists that is what am I trying to say? It is the product of the civilization that lived down here, and it was their way of sort of making water go where they wanted it to go. And so that's how they sort of changed. It's how they survived because you need water down here.
An upside down aqueduct?
Yeah, sort of
360?
their answer to irrigation, I guess. But it all comes to like a central hub, where the direction of the water is you can adjust it. You can literally tell it where you want it to go. In terms of the, in terms
I would
of
like to yes but that.
Oh.
You cannot tell the water where to go. You could have been able to tell where to go, but the mechanism to change that has long since eroded or malfunctioned, and that's why it's wonky now. But I don't like the idea of being able to change it at will if we reach it. So it once
Okay.
was changeable, it no longer is.
Sure. I no problem with that. Then in terms of architecture, I think the only thing, not to make things unduly hard for us, but once we reach level 2, we start to find ancient constructs that are powered by, they're metallic, and they are what remains of the guardians of the civilization or the city. And they are powered by either some type of celestial rune or celestial crystal. It sort of matches sort of the energy that is sort of flowing throughout the mycelium network.
Love it.
I'm imagining like metal with like vines of mycelium acting as like artificial muscles and stuff.
It's more so there's like not so much vines. There's like definite like metallurgy or metallic work that was put in. Like we're not necessarily talking Warforged here, but there's like these are like the iron like juggernauts, and they have
Gotcha.
like they're either powered by a rune or a central crystal.
Gotcha.
Awesome. Just a note, Michael, make sure you spend your influence for
Yep, I did. I'm now at
The-
12.
destruction of the aqueduct. Or erosion, or whatever that might be.
And I'm expending an influence point for. Nope.
The
There's
civilization
just your
from
turn.
That's just
well
your turn.
from
That's my turn.
mine, but yes, otherwise it's just
Oh,
your
yeah.
turn.
Yeah, only if you make a suggestion and it is accepted. Then it's just one influence. Excellent. Roxy, what kind of creatures are in level 2 of the Underscar, the deeper that we get?
Okay. So I had a thought because we had talked about the other little glowing creatures previously and
Right.
how potentially consuming those creatures could make other creatures glow. So I really would love to see some sort of like little micro bat. I'm calling it
Okay.
working title. We're calling it a balit because that just they like look really cute. Here's the thing though, because of where they exist in that level 2 surrounding and the nature of this tunnel system, they've developed that even despite their small size, their way of echolocating is like it's not like the kind where you might just hear a little squeak or something. Quite the opposite. Think like a screaming goat. Like you just hear like a man screaming at full volume. Something about that register helps them move through the systems better. So you have to be like really, really careful if you're trying to sneak around because like if you accidentally disturb like a little group of them or whatever,
Just a bunch
something
of
you got
screaming
just like a
men.
bunch of men screaming.
It's gonna be
But because-
traumatizing.
Because they
The
are these like,
Streamlabs cut me off when I do my shouting
Nope.
goat.
It
Okay,
doesn't
no,
just,
no,
make-
you're perfect.
just making sure you heard me.
But because they're like these little glowing creatures, they also are really, really good indicators for like if you see a little group of them, usually they are flying to an area that might have a really, really dense population of either mushrooms or other animals that are bioluminescent and have some of that fun to them. So
Oh, the screaming.
just follow
So
the
is it,
screaming.
Is it like just someone yelling? It sounds like someone yelling, or is it like a horror movie scream sound? Like, is
Like-
it like intense scream?
How
Like
close
a
was I?
The screaming goat and
Pretty
all of the
cool.
TikTok
Yeah.
memes for Taylor Swift or whatever.
I mean, Grant's was
I'm-
pretty spot on.
Okay.
Just the screaming goat made the most sense because it's an animal that sounds like a person, and so I didn't want to just be like it's a bat that sounds like a person, but it's a bat that sounds like a person.
Yeah, imagine
Oh,
imagine you're fighting for your life and your survival depends on not laughing at a bat making that sound.
Yeah, it's gonna be
You're
great.
just gonna have to record that and like add it to a soundboard to save your throat.
I can do that all day. I'm good. Okay, so we've got the Balit screamers.
Yes, good.
Good. Who might be glowing, might be screaming.
Oh no, they definitely glow. That's
They
like
definitely
a
glow.
yeah.
Definitely
If you
glowing, maybe
see
screaming.
if you see a if you know you've seen a balit because it's glowing and it's tiny. It's very small.
How tiny are we talking?
Like probably like wingspan the size of like a hand,
We
maybe.
talking like a sugar glider type size.
Maybe like at the biggest.
Okay.
Yeah, little sugar glider.
little.
A
Wanna
little guy,
adopt
yeah.
one.
Right?
Yeah, so somebody adopt one so I can
Collect
yell
the
the whole
pets.
campaign.
Yes.
I want
Between
one in like a little
Rob-
lantern thing, so like it's also my turn, but then
you
it can
can have
just
a little-
scream.
And
Yeah,
it like
perfect.
hangs from your arm, so it's like it's like hanging from like. Oh, instead of a lantern, you just grab a pole and it hangs upside down from the pole and acts like a lantern.
Oh, that'd be perfect. Little balit.
Best friends with
Perfect.
Rob.
Perfect for
Yeah.
stealth.
Yep,
Exactly.
100%.
Rob and the balit together.
Yep.
I'm here for it.
Absolutely beautiful. So, Keitha, one thing I was trying to kind of figure out would be the interaction between the Scorcher research base and the Underscar and the Banstall Hospital. So this is kind of a lore decision. If you have something you want to go with, go ahead and take it away. But the thing I'd like to discuss, if not you, then the next person, We know that the Scorter research base, the people that run that are a coalition from all of the different nations of Kiamia. We know that they do not let people just wander into Scorter, and it is very hard to land a boat, and there are watchtowers all around the edges of Scorter, where they just try to make sure people aren't wandering onto Scorter. Does the Scorter research base know about the Underscar? Have they been there? How far down have they gone? Is there any interaction there at all? How well known is this? That was the kind of like world building decision that I would like to leave up to you guys.
I'd say they absolutely know it exists. They don't know anything important is down there because I personally I think that like the bunker city and like the aqueduct are at like literally like this under the punch scar, like the furthest down you could go into the bedrock. So they haven't found that yet. Like no one has found that because it's like it's almost like the punch hit it and just barely grazed above the city, which is how they survived. But so they have no idea the city exists. They have no idea the aqueduct exists. We can't put the
city there, and I can't
directly
say why,
in this
but
okay.
We can't put it there.
Okay.
Rare no.
Okay.
Secrets.
I'm sorry.
In that case,
if I'm misunderstanding, we can't put the city where?
Under
underneath
the scar, directly under the scar.
Oh.
Okay. In that case, I'd say the city only has like one or two distinct entrances, and they have not been found yet. Like they only have like two cavern entrances, like an entrance and an exit, like a singular tunnel, and then nowhere else can access it. And there's no like branching paths. It's like a direct access tunnel and a direct access exit, and no one's found them yet. So the aqueduct and the city are still completely undiscovered. But other than that, the research facility has indeed mapped and charted and everything down to like the water sheet basically for most of the continent. Like most of it is mapped. There's some like mining things for like mining it to send to different magic research facilities and stuff. But most of it is known, most of it is mapped, but most of it cuts off at the water sheet. Like below the water sheet is hard to explore because it's sort of like hanging upside down. The blood rushes to your head because liquids go in reverse. So you can't explore very far down there without special equipment.
So we're never going to get there?
It's definitely possible. It's
Okay.
just like you have to produce specific equipment to get past the water sheet.
Like
They're
a
it's just
diving
like
suit kind of equipment?
basically,
or-
yeah, like a diving suit that will not pressurize but maintain the gravity.
Or
Of
we have to
your blood
repair
as you go down.
the device that
Or
tells the
that,
water where it
yes.
is.
Oh,
Yeah.
mm,
And the city
mm.
and the thing are above the water sheet. Like so, you don't have to go below the water sheet to get to the city.
Oh, we had that
I'm-
when I was describing
The
it, it
water
was on
sheet
the
was
other
where you
side.
reverse it, so the city would be underneath the water sheet.
Gotcha.
So we
Okay,
have to
scratch
get
that.
we have to
Yeah,
get
you
the
have to
water.
get that. It just requires
Yeah.
like a diving suit to get underneath there. Which is why they
An
only
old
have
timey
more-
diving suit.
Yes, precisely.
I'd like to yes and kind of. I don't know exactly what it is. Yes, but yes and. I would like to add that there's one person that was from that ancient civilization, which is part of how the research base got started. And that person is the only person that knows about the city and stuff like that, and is one of the reasons why the research base hasn't gotten there. Like they're specifically making it so they've mapped the rest, but that one person is not letting them figure out how to get past.
They're intentionally misdirecting them.
Yeah.
I will compromise and say that that specific person is no longer alive, but they sort of have like lineage that does that job. Like that specific person has not lived since the scar. Like they're not still alive, but I will allow like a lineage of people to prevent that from happening.
Well, they would have had to live,
They would have
live
had
past
to
the
survive.
scar
Yeah.
for it to exist because the research base was
Well,
developed well after
what I
the
mean,
scar.
like the scar was like hundreds of thousands of years ago, right?
The scar was 1400 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
14. Okay,
And then-
14.
The research base was only, it's not that long, right?
What's how old is Bandstool?
That's a great
You don't know. Fava has been
question.
there for 83.
I don't know if we ever
years, yeah.
determined the age
Yeah, I
of how
don't- I don't
long
think
the
we
research
called-
base and Bandstool have been there.
I don't think we called an age. We can continue to discuss that as we go. I guess whether or not this person is alive or not is what's up for debate now. So, Andy, do you want to start a contest?
Sure, I just think it would be cool to meet them and they still be alive.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, I'll allow it. Because I was getting the timelines mixed up, and I thought the scar was like an ancient thing, and I was like, "There's no way there's a near immortal person who founded the guild." But if it's like,
mean-
if like an elf could somewhat reliably live that long, then yeah, I'd allow that. If like a
And
long
it's,
lived
it's
race.
old,
from
but-
from that civilization, so we don't know when they left that civilization. They could have left that civilization
Right.
100
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
written
200
lore
years.
around the Age of Scorter and everything is that the punch or whatever, the undoing happened 1400 years ago, and there was a lot of superstition around the island of Scorter. So we don't know when people got over that superstition, when that happened to set up the research
Yeah.
base and everything. So that's all we know.
Yeah, this is not like a super. I mean, they're gonna be old, but not like
Yeah.
thousands of year old immortal.
Yeah.
That's why I had initially challenged it. But if it, I'll allow that. Yeah, no challenge.
okay. So go ahead and spend your influence point there, Andy. And sorry, I think I heard myself and it scared me. Who's there? Who's there? I am going to go back
The
to
Belites.
the top of the Belites. Ah! I'm gonna go back to the top of the turn order. That wasn't my best one. I just didn't want to move away from the mic. Oh, my brain gets wiped when I make goat noises.
Same.
I think it'd be fun, Rain, to actually go ahead and discuss that. That was going to be my only round, but I think you brought up a good point. The founding of the Scorcher research base. How long ago was that? Founding of the Bandstool Hospital. How long ago was that? Let's go ahead and get that on the timeline. I think those two things.
I have to get our timeline. When did how long ago did the whole Manhunter Valley thing happen?
Matt Hunter Valley thing happened. Whoa, you're messing with me.
Sorry.
Give me one moment. No,
I
this
have
is
it
a
somewhere.
great question.
It happened at the Undoing, the Growing.
I mean, I know I have it written down somewhere.
1415 after Undoing. And we are currently at 1498.
Okay, so within the last 100 years.
Nobody do that math, please.
Is that
Stop.
what?
Don't. Nope.
I
Don't do the
misheard
math.
numbers then. I heard 1498 and 14 something else. Okay.
Unless we
So
need
what-
to change those dates right here, right now.
No,
We're
the
in
dates
weaving.
are dates are correct. I just forgot why they were correct, and you'll realize why they're correct if you do the math.
Okay.
What was so?
1415 to 1498.
Okay. I would say that, at least I would think that the research base really started to develop right after that happened. Because of
So-
everything that happened and everything that got weird, and that's when everybody came together and was like, we need to figure shit out.
So it has to go a little bit before that.
Oh, does it have to go before that because of Fava's? Was Fava before that?
Yep.
Okay. Well, that doesn't help me then. There
yeah,
goes my
I
logic.
have been at the. I can say that Fava has been there since 1415. She's been there for 83, however many years. Math.
Okay.
It's been 83
I don't
years.
know. That was my only logical answer for why they were there. Let's say 250 years ago. Nice round number.
For the Scorcher Research Base and the
Yeah.
Bandstool Hospital, were they like similar?
I would say Bandstool came like maybe like 10, 20 years later. Like it was always the plan to have that there. As soon as they discovered the scar was like anti-magic, which they probably discovered pretty quickly. So I would say as soon as they made that discovery, like construction started. So it was probably like 10-ish, 10, 20 years to get out there, discover, make that plan, and build.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Never mind. I'll do that.
No,
I have
do
an
it.
idea.
Tell
I'll
us.
wait-
Just
I'll wait-
hanging
I'll
now,
wait for my
Dandy.
turn.
I mean,
Okay. So Bandstool. Okay. I think that's a good that we have a little bit of a timeline there. So about 250 years ago, this individual from this ancient civilization essentially assisted or helped start the Scorcher Research Base.
Yeah.
I like how you know that there's someone, but you're not going to know who that someone is. That makes
Also,
it kind of
our
fun
characters will also not know. So,
for me. I know, but it's more
until
fun
they
that
yell at
there's-
us for fucking something up, which will happen.
Right.
You're the people.
Okay. Vava.
Yes.
So we've talked about the first level a little bit. We've talked about the second level where we've got the upside down water. We've got the aqueduct irrigation where the water can kind of be like directed. We know about the Batites, the screaming Batites. I want to go.
Ballet.
So currently level 2, the makeup of it has not really changed. Still, for the most part, kind of tight, winding caverns with the occasional like larger area. I want to go down to the deepest anyone's ever been, any mortal has been down level 3. Things start to get weird down there, in my mind.
Yep.
They don't have to. It's your call.
Oh, that's where I'm going. We're on the same page.
What is it like? What are the caverns like? What are the passages like? Like, what's the deepest level of the Underscar like?
So it is very hard to know. I think it is honestly pretty similar in makeup, but you know how in I don't know the overall world, the widely accepted D&D Feywild, how there is magic that messes with your brain to get to and from the Feywild. The deeper you go, once you hit that kind of third level, it starts getting a little brain wobbly of it could be all the same, and it probably is very similar winding tunnels with big open caverns every now and then, but people haven't mapped it out, even the ancient civilization, because it was so difficult to. Because so many people got lost, or they came back and were just like, I left yesterday, you've been gone for 83 years. Where did you go? There's some weird shenanigans in your brain. Dandy's ready.
I just would like some clarification on the lore surrounding the bean punch.
Yes.
The bean punch.
Um,
Gross.
I mean, the world. I mean, it is what
Yep.
it is.
Yep.
You guys did it, not me.
Oh yeah. I just picture like the Hawaiian guy like breaking through a wall, but it's a bean. Okay, go ahead.
So, the punch itself hit Scortur, that area. We've established that there was a civilization that sought refuge beneath the continent of Skortur,
Mm-hmm.
and that I was gonna say I love Emily's idea of it being uncharted to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the reason why is because there's such a intense concentration of like this anti-magic or this anti-remnant. Oh wow, this is not a great moment to completely have things just leave your mind.
Well, so if, going off of the anti-magic thing, if that's what you're talking about, that is kind of what I thought would be the instigator for the weird brain stuff. It could be that maybe Altir isn't affected. Maybe it is a remnant-based thing. Is that kind of what you were going for?
That is what I was.
Oh, yeah,
But I was
yeah.
gonna say, I was gonna say just I'm not entirely 100% on the lore surrounding Bandstool Hospital and the research base, but I was going to say if there is no set lore, the research base was founded when it was founded. Bandstool Psychiatric Hospital or hospital was created because when they tried to map it, it caused everybody who ever tried to go down there to have serious mental breaks. And they couldn't just ship them off continent to other, because it was too difficult. So they built a hospital there. I know I'm out of order. I apologize. I was just
that's a yes and.
So that
Yeah.
that would be, but that would be the civilization that was there coming up to
No,
build
no,
the
no, no.
hospital.
This
No,
is-
Because
so
no,
we've
this is
already
the-
established
this is
that
post
people
Scar.
haven't gone down that far.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
post
people
Scar.
have
this
not.
Is, this is the this is technically post research base being constructed.
Right, and we said
Yeah.
there's the one dude that has prevented people from going down that far.
Yeah. No one
So
else has gone down
Nobody
that
would have
far.
gone down that far to get
level
mentally
3.
screwed up to cause bands.
Yeah. Because no one's even gotten past level 2. So let alone level 3.
I guess I'm gonna try and use an influence point to change that.
It's already passed. That's been cemented.
Well, so are you clarifying? Because we said they were preventing getting to the city. Andy, did you mean that it was anything farther than?
Well, Maiko
Like,
said there's
not
only
even-
one entrance, so if you're not getting to the city, you're not getting
Oh,
farther.
that's true. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, there's only one entrance to like level 2 further down, and there's only one entrance
Right.
out of level 2.
Okay.
To get down to level 3.
Yeah.
To get from
So-
1 to 2, there's only one way in, one way out.
So it's all of the various tunnels in one at the city, and then one tunnel spreading out after the city for level 3.
It's literally just one tunnel to surface, one tunnel to surface. Like you get in the city and go to level
Then
2
how do you
one
get
way
to level 3?
via level 2. So it's like level 1 wall, level 2, level 3 is what the one entrance, one exit had been.
So there's nothing discussed about going from level 2 to level 3, but going from level 1 to level 2, there's only one way in, one way out.
Yeah. Level 2 only
okay,
has
but that
one.
doesn't really have anything. But then in that case, that has nothing to do with what Emily and I have been talking about.
Yeah.
Well, you were saying that the reason for the hospital is people getting to level 3 and getting mentally screwed up.
Yeah, but
Right.
they can't get
Right,
to level
but they
3.
can't
It's
get there.
impossible.
Because what I weaved was there's one dude that prevented anybody that wasn't the civilization from getting to the city. So if they can't
Yeah,
get to the
so-
city,
I
they
see.
can't get to the rest of it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
So I think there's a space here. Let me see if this works for everybody. This individual that started the research base could have been like a Moses character almost. So you have these people who maybe get lost in level 3 that are from the city originally. He, for some reason, doesn't go crazy. He gets everyone out of the city. He gets everyone to the surface. He finds them a place to stay in the Bandstool hospital, and then he goes and starts the Scorcher research base, and then he prevents anyone from ever going down there again. So that would mean that the original inhabitants of the Banstoll Hospital were undoing survivors. This would be the original residents, and then that kind of sets, from then on, he shut it off. He said no one's ever going down there. God knows what he saw. You know what I mean? Like, who knows why? What horrors there were, but he said no one's ever, or maybe that's not it at all. Maybe there's vast riches down there. Maybe that's where the One Piece is, but he's not letting anyone go down there anymore.
Yeah,
So-
I think that's great. That's why I was asking if it was city people, because I think that's an excellent idea. I was just clarifying who they were.
Yeah.
Dandy, what do you think? Compromise?
I mean, that doesn't really change anything. That's sort of just an addendum to what I had already suggested. So that's totally fine. Yeah.
I think it's
Exactly.
a good clarification for what you were suggesting.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I don't know whose turn was that technically.
So that was
was
my
Emily's.
turn because I was
Okay.
establishing the weird
And then I yes-anded.
anti-magic
Dandy-
magic something.
Spend an influence point because we are indeed setting kind of the early. We know why the Banstoll Hospital is there already, but we're kind of saying those first residents were people who came to the surface.
Okay. So then the
and-
Banstoll Hospital is actually something that is much older than the research base.
Not necessarily. It could be that the research base was already there and they were starting to poke around.
That's not
and
what we
then
just said,
this
though.
person came up and was
Yeah,
like,
well-
hey, don't go down there.
It
They
just all
found
depends on
them
when
flo-
that person came up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
person
basing
came
this
up-
based on what Emily said, that people that wander down in level 3, like, time can pass any which way.
Yeah.
So these are pre-undoing people. They got lost. He got them out, and then he started the Banstoll Hospital and the Scorcher research base.
Yeah. So
That's
it's like
what I
they
was
got
thinking,
up
Andy.
and the Banstoll Hospital itself didn't exist until later, but that collection of people were the first people at Banstoll. So like the people were there and Banstoll got built around them essentially. Is what I'm hearing.
Is that in contest with what you were thinking, Altair?
So I think that because Grant, you said something that was a little bit different than what, because we're talking about like sequence of events, like which was
Sure.
created first,
Yeah.
the hospital or the research base.
Yep.
I think it makes sense to have the research base first.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then the hospital is the reason why. I mean, it's there to help the people who are already
Correct.
ill.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. That is correct.
Okay.
I think we're all in accord. I think the only weird thing was just making the order of events make sense on the timeline. But
Yeah.
I think we're all good.
Yeah.
I think we all got what we wanted out of that. Unless anyone has any final arguments. Cool.
That was our
Um,
longest yes and to date.
I don't know about that. But I guess with this cast, yes.
I think the longest yes and was definitely, do we have handrails in these tunnels?
Altair, you probably don't remember what it was, but about 15 minutes ago you went and then said you'd wait your turn. It's your turn now. Do you
gone.
remember? It's gone.
Out of my head. Yeah. No. It was one of those things. I sort of got super like excited by the thing that Emily was saying, and then it only so much brain power to keep thoughts going at the same time. So
That's okay.
maybe it'll come to me. I don't know. We'll see.
So I have one last thing, and you can take it or you can do your own thing. In this city of this ruined city of, we don't know the age, right? Like everything is kind of hard to date post the post undoing or pre undoing. In this city is in the deepest heart of the city. Like if you were to kind of like take it apart and study it for a long time and be like, oh, this is like the central part. This is where like the decisions were made. In like the back room of that area, there is 2 teleportation circles. One is the actual spell teleportation circle, and one is a sigil that shows you the runes to the connecting teleportation circle, so that one could go to this other room. What city or nation on Kiamia does that room connect to? You can pass because I know that
you're asking me.
I am asking you.
It doesn't go to a city.
Okay.
There is, and it might have been something possibly that was kind of a built-in as a fail-safe to get to the surface should there be like a massive cave-in, perhaps, as these things have been built. But this teleportation circle actually gets everybody, if they needed to, out all the way to the very edges of the Eternal Cascade. Cascade? Cascades. The Eternal
Out
Cascades.
by like Ellie.
Yeah.
Or like on top of the Eternal Cascade.
Like right at the foot of them. Yeah,
Gotcha.
right at the foot of the mountains. And it would have been, I'm not entirely familiar how long Ellie has been a city. But it would have been something that it was like, we need to, something we haven't even thought about is that these continents, the way they are, might not actually have looked like this back in the day. Like Scortur, for sure, because it was sort of like it was
Scortur,
impacted by a
for sure.
god's fist.
Yeah.
That's their
But
visitors bureau line.
The other things like I always want to say onomatopoeia. I apologize.
That's
what
it.
it is.
That's literally
That's the
how we named
pronunciation.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Onomatopoeia.
That's correct.
Onomatopoeia, Gamia, all of these places might not actually be what they looked like back 1,400 years ago.
I mean, tectonic shift happens over millions of years.
Yeah, but what happens
not
when a
when your
god
planet's
punches your
punched.
planet?
That's a good point, actually. That's a good point.
The planet.
Ha.
And then all
Um,
of them just like bounced around like pool balls.
So yeah, the continent that Ellie is currently on could have looked very different at the time, but it's the teleportation circle goes to an area within the Eternal
I
Cascades.
love that so much.
Yeah.
That's not. Oh, that's the wrong tool. Ignore me. Okay. Oh, I don't have that set up. That's a long ways away.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty. And I don't think. Forgive me if I'm wrong, players. We've never touched Ellie. We like put
Nope.
that on the map.
Yeah.
We don't
Nope.
know. We don't
it's
know a
actually
fucking.
called Lie because I made it. But
Eli?
that's just
Oh,
Lie.
That's right.
Just
The
lie.
E is silent.
Slide.
Okay.
Yep. And I think it's just like all we said was like it's a small like fishing trading village, and that's it.
Which makes
That's
it
all we said
really
about
to
it.
recommend itself at all. Just the tiny hamlet.
Yeah, I didn't put too much detail on it. Other than
I mean, it's got a dark secret now.
Is there
Yeah.
anything? What was the reason behind naming something the Eternal Cascades? Because I'm seeing this mountain range that is like very much wreathed in, I'm assuming, fog.
So that's all unknown, uncharted. So it's just in
Oh.
fog because we don't know what's there. That whole end of the bean is unknown.
And the Eternal Cascades was a waterfall coming from that,
Yep,
correct?
It's,
That's
it's
what fed
one
that
big
body of
waterfall
water.
coming
Yeah.
from the mountain range, and that was
That-
just a name generator, and I thought it sounded cool.
Yep.
Well, I think
It
we
did.
rolled with it and said that it should be frozen over, but it's not. Like it
Yeah.
continues to flow,
Yeah.
even though it should be
Right,
frozen.
that waterfall and that whole river doesn't
Isn't that river
freeze.
saltwater?
Yeah,
I believe
and
so.
there's cute little sharks in it.
Yes.
Salt water.
That's all I remember.
Okay.
Saltwater and frozen cute sharks.
I love that choice for reasons that will become apparent at a later date. Oh no. Okay, I am done with my prompts, so that gets us to Roxy. You can come up with something of your own design, or you can pass for an influence point.
So I had a thought, and now that we've got these multiple layers within the Underdark and whatnot, I think my thought could be interesting. So you know how you like when it's really really cold or it rains, you get like black ice on the road.
Uh-huh.
My thought was in certain depths, depending on how the tunnel is or the certain little pockets or whatever, when it gets really really cold, the air almost like it's almost like creates little tiny crystals that if you shine a light on it would create a mirage effect that would make it look like it's just a regular old tunnel just walk through, but if you actually walk into it, it is like the darkest dark of fogs. Any light within it just disperses really awkwardly and becomes like a big veil around you. I call it black fog because it's like it tricks you into thinking, oh, there's nothing there. You could just walk through like normal, but really, it's not normal.
I'm in love with that.
It's not normal.
Assistant
Is that
to the DM
separate
title.
from the fog that makes reality wonky, or is that
Yeah,
part of it, or is
this
it separate?
separate.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, what happens when they merge? Who knows? But
Oh gosh.
Are we
But
sure
it
we
could
wanna
be
travel
part of,
here? Like,
You can
we're
just
kind
turn
of already
around.
there.
turn
So,
around and go back to Banthal.
Cascada just starts playing in the background whenever.
how much do you guys really like Randall?
Good luck, Randall.
Yeah.
What? She didn't say that.
Keitha,
Casual.
I'm out of prompts. You can take a free influence point, or you can give yourself a wild card round.
I am gonna take a wild card. Does it have to be related to Scortur still?
Yes. Sorry, I shouldn't call it a
Okay.
wild card round. Wild card rounds can be anything in World Weavers. This is like you can weave one more thing about the Underscar, or I'll give you the influence point.
Gotcha. So one last thing about the Underscar is that were the towers constructed by Scortur Research Base, or could they have been found by them and just repurposed?
I don't mind changing the history of the towers if you would like to.
Okay. I would like to change the towers to be they basically were just like giant mesas, like giant mesa like sandstone formations that then got carved into the towers, but those formations are part of like actual pillars of like structure that descend all the way down and like almost support the caverns, quote unquote, in a way, which allows for like caverns to follow structures that wouldn't normally be feasibly possible, like a full city-sized underwater lake or a small stream that flows at like Mach 2, or like it just allows for it supports the entirety of Scorcher above, so it doesn't just collapse, because there's a lot of caves, there's a lot of tunnel systems, and that would make things very unstable, but those pillars are sort of keeping Scorcher up.
Okay.
And they are formed from pure veins of the crystalline rune stuff that Dandy had weaved into traces in the tunnels. They're like giant pillars of the stuff that keep the entire continent up.
Okay.
And it is your decision whether the base knows that this is hidden beneath the pillars or not. They just carve towers out of them. Whether they know that there's resources under them is up to you.
Okay. It's up to me. Okay. That is going to be it for our world weaving. I can't remember who has the power to initiate a wildcard round. Would you like to do that? Your chance is now.
No, I don't think I will. Not this
Saving
round.
the influence points. Okay. excellent work. I have a excellent little place down here to torture you with if you go too deep into it. I'm very excited about that. I'm excited. Everybody can get back into the mindset of their characters.
Yeah, I have to get in character now.
Can we take like a quick, like, either like 2-minute like bathroom / beverage break
Uh,
to collect things?
Sure. I've never done a break live before. I will sit here and try to entertain everybody, and you can.
I mean, if you'd rather not, that's totally fine too. I just thought I'd ask.
Run really fast.
yeah, if you need to pee, go, man. I'm not gonna make you hold it. Liquid's gonna be going up anytime now.
Altier's just gonna spend this time writing. He's just sitting in the back
Oh
writing.
man, I should have made the old man that's doing all this shit, Jerry.
Oh, Jerry.
Who knows? Maybe it
too
is.
That's why he moved out to the.
late.
But you know what isn't too late? Going to fanrolldice.com or fanroll.com and using code homebrew for 10% off on this break, because that's a good time to go shopping for dice.
It's true.
Yeah. All
Shopping
of
at your
Fanroll
machine.
Dice's new Liquid Core are out. They're super, super cool. You should check them out.
And their liquid behaves normally, but it's also very pretty. So you don't have
Yeah.
to worry about it hitting your
I
ceiling.
mean, it's contained in a dice, so who knows?
Yeah.
Let it out. It might go
Can
up.
you know that?
Don't break your
See,
your
that's-
dice to find out.
Magic.
That's the question, though. Would the water-filled flask then just hit the ceiling? Would it be such power that it like raises?
Yeah, the
stuff?
gravity's literally reversed.
Right.
But
does
enough
water have
to
be
just
Wait.
lift the vessel
Otherwise,
that
we
the
would all
liquid is
just be-
contained.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then shouldn't we be like Mary Poppins style?
Well, I mean,
Floating
only if
around?
you're holding only if you're holding your weight in water. Like if you're just holding
I
a little
mean,
flask, it won't
we are
pull you up. Like
80% water.
I
Yeah.
feel
We are-
judged.
anything inside you isn't super affected. It's just sort of like going
No,
underwater.
you don't get
might
to make you don't get to make the line item rules now. It's too
Okay.
late.
It's too late.
You
for that.
said that like the blood would rush to your head, and like
Yeah.
we
Yeah, if
require
you go far
special
enough down, yeah.
footing. So
yeah, you have to get a suit.
You
so
have to get a-
then before the suit, is there an area where like you're gonna again be floating because you're mostly
Yeah.
liquid?
it's
yeah,
too
your
late
blood
to
will be going
discuss
upwards.
that in meta.
I'm just gonna constantly spit and watch. Whoop.
So everyone, you are looking down in this cave, in this entrance. You see this sharp cutoff to the right. You have seen some movement and some tracks on the outside. You have crossed the trap. You're looking down this hallway, carved into this kind of stone. Behind you, you feel the heat of Scorcher, of the sun just kind of like beating down on you all. What do you do? It is the current theory that Randall has gone this way.
We're inside a rock. I've
Yes, this
never
is called a
been
cavern.
inside. I've never been inside a rock before. It's very exciting. Hello, hello, hello.
That's
Roxy,
probably
there are more
not
of you.
the best idea, considering we're trying to, rescue someone from the caverns. They most likely know we're here now.
Well, I
What?
mean, we want to know where they are, though, right? Are we
I-
supposed to be sneaking? I didn't realize we were supposed to be
I
sneaking.
do-
Nobody told me we were
I
sneaking.
don't think they're gonna yell hello back, considering they ran away. So
You never know.
maybe
And
not
that they're
sneak,
unconscious.
but don't yell hello.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just
All
gonna
right,
start walking
Um,
ahead and looking for Randall because this is going poorly already.
Altier is going to join Rain.
Keitha
Enjoy.
is gonna hang back. They are visibly sweating.
I'm pretty sure Fava is in the backpack. I'm pretty sure Rain put Fava in the backpack at the end of last session.
Safety measures.
So Rain, I was wondering if you wouldn't mind telling me about this Randall character. We
Do you always ask this many questions to people you've known for
So
a
so many.
day? Okay.
I'm a keeper. I'm a keeper of.
Keepler?
I'm a keepler.
Keepler elf.
I keeper things. I
I have little cookies for you. I live in the tree.
I am a keeper of stories, and
So you
how
said, yep.
best to suss out what the story is unless I ask questions. So this Randall person, how do they relate to you?
They don't.
How do you know that? How do you know them?
Oh, father's in love with them.
Rain. No,
Father,
no.
you are amorous with this individual.
No.
I see I have struck a chord. I apologize if I have embarrassed you in any way.
She's turning red. She turned a little bit red, didn't she?
Don't forget to breathe, Father. Don't forget to breathe.
Randall is a friend
Yes.
that I knew at Benstool.
Mm-hmm. He was a fellow prisoner of some kind.
I'm not a
They're
prisoner.
not
He was a
prison-
patient.
How many times do we have to go over that they're not prisoners?
Patient.
Right.
It's a
Not
hospital.
prisoners.
Not prisoners, patients. They help people. And I don't know why Randall was there.
Do I know why Randall was there?
Randall really liked booze and
Randall
gambling.
did really like booze.
Give me, I think you could give me an insight check, Rain.
Me? Oh boy.
Well, I think Fava just sees Randall for Randall.
Her
But I
opinions
think you
could
could-
be muddled.
Yeah, I think you could.
That's an
have
8.
the-
I also see Randall for Randall.
The only thing I will say is you have seen Randall even through the anti-magic properties of Banstool being so close to the scar. Even through that, you've seen Randall cast magic. There is a statue in particular out front that he is always mending. Seems like it gets worn and he always will fix it. And you would note that you even have, it strains you a little bit more to cast
Anything.
magic here. Yeah.
And I mean, Rain would know the general history of Banstool of just being to control magical people anyways, right?
Right.
Okay. Yeah, and Randall can do magic stuffs. It's not glittery like Fava's. So he was probably there for doing something. I don't know. He left to fix statues. I still think it was all the booze and gambling.
Statues like the one that we had encountered at the cave entrance.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's a similar one at Banstool.
So these statues dot the landscape of Scortur then.
Oh, that I don't know. I just know there's also
Was
one
there
at Banstool.
also an inscription on the statue in Banstool? Was there one there, or?
Yeah, I never really looked close though.
Would I know? On my many rock walks, would I have looked at the statue? It's a rock.
Give me a. I've been playing too much Cyberpunk. I can't remember what it would be. Would it be a history? Would it be a history check to remember something?
A 14.
So what you remember about the statue? Randall seemed to be very enamored with the statue without really ever giving an explanation for why. But it would get defaced quite often. Defaced just as in the features getting sanded down or getting worn down or getting eroded, presumably by some other type of magic. And Randall would try to mend it and try to restore shape to it. And then people would put out little toys around it, little mechanical toys. You never saw them do it. You're not sure why, but there'd be little wind up toys and things like that. People, because there's a little village around Banstool as well. So it's not like you're staying at, but you did not see any inscriptions.
I don't remember any inscriptions.
All right.
No. Are you all right, Keitha?
No, I don't like. I prefer the open air, open plains, that sort of thing.
Oh,
Quicker we can get in, quicker we get out, the better this will go.
do you want to hold my hand?
And I'm
Thank
like
you,
in the
Father.
backpack, so I'm like kind of
Yeah.
eye level with you.
Yeah, you're like reaching back around you, and Keitha will take your hand.
That's it.
Thank you,
didn't-
Father.
I didn't want a person train.
Rain, she's
All right.
feeling uncomfortable.
Okay. Sure.
And Hanul is out, by the way. They are walking alongside me. And they are glowing, I believe.
Okay, so as you approach that kind of white turn that I had talked about, right turn that I had talked about, Rain and Altir, you kind of feel it first. It begins to become very, very cold, very unnaturally cold. You start to see your breath as you breathe out in front of you. The change in temperature seems to come on like almost suddenly. If you've ever been like outside in the hot and then like step into the cold, how it can like almost take a moment for you to realize you're cold. And as you turn that corner and you look down this hallway, other than a few different some glowing lights in the distance, you just see ice. The cavern has slims down to the point where you think you'd have to walk single file, and it is just complete ice as far as you can see. And then you see dots of like yellow light in the distance down this cave. Other than that, it's very dark.
So this is an area where the mycelium, the cold, the unpleasantness of the environment has impeded their like growth.
There is mycelium growing along the walls. That's not really something you have seen quite yet. You know that, Dandy, but your character is looking kind of down at this icy, tight, claustrophobic
Got it.
entrance, and you see these kind of like bright lights.
Keitha is now not only sweating now, but shaking, despite the cold.
Oh,
This
it's
reminds me
all
of
right.
home.
I'm sorry, you said this reminds you of home.
Yeah.
You have a lot of ice where you live?
It's some ice, but it's more, deep down in the water. It's cold and dark, and
wow.
there's occasionally little glowing things. So
Any ideas how we might traverse this terrain?
walk carefully.
Anything easier?
Um,
Potentially less life-threatening?
Keitha out in front, please, for a scout, if you wouldn't mind.
Are you sure, Keitha? You seem very uncomfortable.
Keitha, can't you not see in the dark?
Hanul can't carry torches. That's right.
I can see very far in the dark.
If I need to, I can just, and she just switches places with Hanul. I can just, pop back if I need to.
wait. It's very dark. Where's Mubby?
And I'll start like patting, and you see, I'll open up the little pouch, and you'd see Rob's
Hi.
head pop out.
Oh, not now, Rob. Okay, Mubby. All
Help!
right. Not now.
Cold!
It is cold. I'm gonna put it back now.
Cold! Blanket, please! No, he doesn't say that.
Well, Faba's like pulling off one of her many scarves and like tucking it in.
All right. Mubby can go.
Bye!
Bye. Bye, Rob.
Who's Mubby?
Mubby.
Who's
Moby.
Mubby?
It's Mubby.
It's Moby.
Mubby can
Oh.
go.
All right.
And you
I
just
don't-
see Fava like eyes glaze over. And I am, for your
it's normal.
reference, DM, Mubby is shadow hopping farther down, a little ways ahead.
Okay.
Who's what?
And I
Exactly.
am looking through Mubby's eyes.
Is she okay?
Rain,
It's
what is she
what?
doing?
It's Moby. It's her friend. You
Keep saying
see-
that, and I don't.
you
Is that
see
common? I
him-
don't understand. It's Moby.
I feel like
that's
that.
I mean, it's
thing.
not common where I come from. I haven't been here long enough to know if it's common here. But Moby's just like a little friend. You see him sometimes you don't. But he exists. And
Like a familiar of sorts.
Oh,
I don't know
like
what
a
a
pet.
familiar is, but yeah, kind of like a pet. And yeah, Fava can, I think, like see through him. I haven't quite figured that
Oh.
out. She just does.
okay.
But we've used it
As long
for
as
lots
she's
of
okay.
shenanigans, so
Oh, okay.
somehow, yeah.
All right.
That's,
Just she'll come back eventually.
okay.
So do we just keep moving?
Yeah, just
And-
move slow. She'll report back.
All right.
And Moby has dark vision. Is that correct? Devil sight? Like what are we talking about here as
Yes,
far as its
Mubby
ability to
has
see?
Devil's Sight, so magical darkness doesn't impede Mubby's dark vision, magic resistance, and Mubby has Shadow Hop, so
Okay.
he can move effortlessly between shadows, teleporting up to 30 feet in dim light or darkness,
Beautiful. So
and invisibility on top of that.
Right. So as you are seeing through Mubby's eyes, you are now in this ice. It is, I don't know if you can feel the things that Mubby feels, but telepathically it would communicate with you that it's fucking cold. And you see along the walls of this extremely icy cavern that there is this like winding, like very thin, roll nature.
Nature.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 5.
Can't tell what it is. It's like roots, but it's not roots. You know what I mean? And it's do you know what I mean? It's you're not sure what it is. It's like this very thin, tendrily stuff that seems to be growing all along these walls. And then every like 30 feet or so, there is this glowing light, and through Mubby's eyes, you can see that there's if you look close enough, it seems to be some type of rune.
There's
A little bit too loud. It's that thing of like when you put headphones on a toddler and they start talking so that they can hear themselves. Because when
Or
I'm
just
looking through
the thing that adults do when they put
Yeah.
headphones on as
also
well.
also that. But it's
there's glowing runes and weird like tendrils on the walls with the ice, but mostly these big glowing runes about like every 30 feet from what I can tell. No Randall yet.
All right. Nobody touch the tendrils.
Should I
Um,
touch the tendrils?
I'm gonna
she
tap
also
Fava
cannot
on the
hear
shoulder.
you.
Yes.
And her eyes like come back to their normal.
Don't touch the tendrils.
Oh. Why?
Last
I touched
time
Rob,
we saw.
and now we have Rob. It worked out
Yeah,
very
but
well.
he ate your sparkles. There's no telling
Oh,
how
yeah.
large these tendrils are, how much of your sparkles they would eat. Like, Robbie ate a tiny amount because he's tiny. I'm simply afraid that if we touch one of these, it might eat all of it.
I
'Cause
mean,
it's
we
so
don't
large.
know if this is the kind of mushroom that eats glitter, though. It could just be cool tendrils,
If
maybe.
they start to talk, I'm going to leave.
Oh,
just
but Rain, we
just
can
throwing
have
that out there.
them what-
No,
what friends.
Rob is plenty. He's a wonderful friend. I think he's
Ah.
one of a kind. We don't need any more.
Rob, do you hear that? She thinks you're a one-of-a-kind friend.
You hear like muffled from the bag. Hi.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Keitha will wander up ahead now that Fava confirmed that it's safe or somewhat safe as a place like this can be.
Runes.
And she's
Yeah.
going to carefully avoid the runes and as many of the tendrils as she can,
Mhm.
keeping Hanu back with them, and just moving forward,
So,
sneaking
are you
as much as I
carrying
can.
a torch then to see?
No, I am. Oh well, yeah, I am carrying a torch. Yes,
Okay.
but I'm trying to be as quiet as possible.
Rain, we can see in the dark. Should we go? Should we be ahead? Should I still be looking through Mubby's eyes?
Keitha wants to go. Let
Okay.
Keitha go.
Altier, actually, I have a question for Maggie. Something we haven't necessarily talked about out of game, so I'm just asking now. Have
Okay.
are Roxy and Altier, they've traveled together for a while. Have they ever maybe used spells to help each other? Besides how we entered the cave?
I don't know if we've had like a ton of opportunity to, because we've only been traveling on Scortor for a couple of weeks. So like maybe, but I don't know that there's been anything like major plotting done.
Right.
You know, like we're aware that we both have
Well-
magical abilities, but I think that's
Then I'll ask the question: would Roxy allow Altier to do, say, something like enhance ability?
sure.
Okay.
I don't see why not.
Altier is going to hang back a little bit, and he's just going to very lightly just
He casts spells by backhanding people. That's
Yeah.
just
Oh, I see what we're getting at.
just gently touches Roxy's shoulder, and he's going to cast enhance ability. And you are. I'm going to cast Cat's Grace. You have advantage on dexterity checks.
Oh boy.
You also don't take damage from falling 20 feet or less if you are not incapacitated.
Okay. Cool.
Thanks, friend.
Mm-hmm.
I have a friend.
Oh yes, I just want to make sure that everyone is. Whatever happens, we get out of this thing alive.
Yeah.
As
So-
deep down as we are, I don't think survival is much of an imperative as much as simply finding Randall and getting out.
Are we gonna die?
I'm
We're
pretty sure
underground.
surviving
Most
is
people die when they're
Surviving is always
underground.
an
imperative to
Oh,
finding
no.
Randall and getting out.
Just even if we don't find the inebriated dwarf, I'm perfectly fine.
Don't say that.
No.
Don't.
We're moving
Oh, I'm
ahead
so
for
sorry.
Randall.
You mentioned that he drank and liked the booze.
I mean, sometimes.
I'm pretty
No
sure he was
judgment.
knocked out and taken by a
judgment.
bug, not inebriated. But it could be both, to be honest. He might have gotten drunk and then got taken by a bug.
I'm gonna keep walking.
Yeah,
Give-
Keita is
The
continuing
bug
to
could have
walk.
been a DR.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. That could be. That could
Designated rider. That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. That's
Do I
nice.
have to roll a stealth check
Nice
since I'm
service.
going ahead?
I'm trying to get over the fact that I thought doctor. Doctor. Okay,
bug.
so marching order, we've got warrior up front, and then Rain.
Yeah, I guess so. Keitha's all the way. Rain would be giving it distance though, since Keitha does have light, and she doesn't want to get eaten by whatever comes to that light.
Sure. So Rain and Fava are together. And then what's the rest of the marching order here? With our Altier and Roxy.
Altier's gonna take up the rear, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd probably be like kind of just in front of him, but sticking kind of close.
Okay. So, give me a survival check, Keitha.
Yay, I'm proficient in survival.
Woo!
Nat 20.
Oh,
Nice.
23.
As you are, you are shining your torchlight. I'm not going to roll stealth just because with a torch in a tunnel, I just don't.
Yeah,
think
I
there's
was
any
going mostly
realistic
for
way.
Yeah, I was going for sound stealth, not visual stealth.
Sure. With the way that you're going, I don't think there's any reason to roll for it. It's you know what I mean. If there's anything there, it's going to see you. It's kind of one way
Yeah.
system. And I understand that everyone is being quiet. It's not a problem. The
Except for
X-
Rain. She's excessively loud.
Rain's wearing like chainmail, right? Like it's probably.
That's true.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Have you ever heard metal on ice?
Chink,
So-
chink, chink.
So Keitha, it becomes pretty slippery. First thing you notice, you're able to pretty much catch yourself and see it through the torchlight. You find it's pretty difficult to see with the torchlight and kind of the like runes in the distance. And you're looking and you see that this cave ahead of you starts to get pretty tight. And then you see off to the left, there's kind of like a larger entrance, and you're able to deduce that there's no way the Ankeg would have been able to get through that first tunnel, and that it would have had to take this route off to the left. And you're kind of looking around for other like potential like exits or entrances, and it's definitely winding a little bit, but it looks like those are kind of the two major options. And the left one would be the only one like large enough for an Ankeg to squeeze through.
I'll swap back real quick. All right, I've found a larger
Randall?
entrance that an Ankeg. No, I haven't found Randall Fava. I'm sorry, but I have found a sort of bottleneck where the Ankeg had to have headed. We can head that way. There's also it's pretty slippery, so for anyone that has any sort of sharp weapons, dig them into the ice as you go down. Don't slip, because it's pretty steep, and the tunnel keeps going if we miss the large entrance. So be very careful.
All right. Rain, should I get down? I don't want to be off balance or anything.
Sure, if you want to get down, Papa.
Okay.
Don't freeze.
It is very cold.
Pull out another sweater, another scarf from her bag. Wrap it up.
And yeah, Kaitha will just swap back forward and then slowly turn the corner into the big cavern.
DM, I have a question.
Yeah.
My astral recall, is that something that can I grab somebody and like do that with, or is it just myself?
Give me 1 second. That's a ASMR feat, sure.
I think it's a custom magic item.
Yeah, it's a custom magic item.
Oh, it's something is that something I made? Is that
Yeah.
for me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Did I do that?
Did I do
Did I
that?
do that?
Oh, we're millennials. Oh. Give me one moment. Of course, can't find. Can you link me the text of it real quick, just since you probably have it in front of you?
I just sent it.
I love how 2 of the players here have teleporting abilities. We both have location abilities, which I love the tactical possibilities of teleportation.
I'm letting you get away with murder just a little bit because it does cost half your movement, but it's just RP, so it's fine.
It costs half my
Um,
movement to teleport?
Yeah, you can spend a bonus action next minute.
Yeah.
Magically teleport back to that.
Oh, at the cost of 15 feet of movement. Yep.
So for you, at this level,
Okay. So it is
I
a,
will
it
say
is
it's-
a level-based thing. So it's just myself right now.
I could see it definitely getting stronger, and maybe we can work together on what that looks like.
Sure.
As we progress through. But for right now, yeah, it's just you.
Okay.
Actually, I'll let you take other people, up to 2, but you have to take a level of exhaustion for each person beyond you that you take.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's
Just
pretty
so-
expensive.
But it could be the difference between life and death. So
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll
That's
take-
why I did it.
That just means I have to find one other person that I need to be very, very close with over the next couple sessions.
All right. What does the big cavern look like as I step into it?
More tunnels. Seemingly, as you continue to kind of walk down here, the question becomes, Keitha and everyone, how long do you go?
Until we find Randall.
Yeah.
Are there
Oh,
any
what-
scratches in the ice? Any? Because an Ankeg has claws.
Give me a
and it will
survival
scratch-
check
Okay.
for tracking.
Survival normal. 10.
You do find the occasional scratch in the ice that leads you to believe you're going the right way. If you look very closely, you get down and you look at this scratch in the ice, you see that almost it seems to be almost like a little bit of movement, and if you kind of like scrape a dagger over the ice, it seems like the water just kind of like freezes back over after a little bit. It's getting very cold. Does everyone have some type of outerwear? Is anyone...
No, I have thin flowing fabrics and the full metal, and just metal.
I have cold
I don't have any
resistance.
sort of-
Does that count?
That does count, absolutely.
Fava has a variety of scarves and things that she would have found in the Lost and Found. Whatever you will allow me to have from the Lost and Found.
How many scarves can I have, DM?
And then the scarves.
So, Altair doesn't have heavy outerwear to protect from the elements. He does have a series of costumes that he could potentially wear. So it's all about layering, really. So
Yeah.
Or you could use your wings
Yeah.
and like insulate yourself.
Oh, look, it's my sea lion cosplay.
Yes.
So yeah, you see, and he also is wearing leather armor. So it's like he just starts. You see Altair just reach into a bag and just start to put on like different like colored tunics, and like put on like different pants over the pants he's currently wearing.
Definitely judging you.
Oh, you look lovely, Altair. I love the fashion.
Oh,
Layers are important.
thank you. Like Altair is like very self-conscious about the
It's
fact that
only a
he's
little
having
cold.
to layer all of these different things on himself, and it is not a fashion choice by any means. So he appreciates any and all compliments he receives.
Do you need another shirt? Ray's just gonna
Do you
hold
have
out.
one?
Yes.
Yes, I potentially I could if it gets much colder down here. It's
Okay. You can borrow my clothes if you really need to.
do they say?
Roxy, are you warm enough?
It's like fits remarkably well.
That's weird.
Keitha
I mean, they're
is
about the same height. So.
Yeah.
Well, hold up real quick. Roxy,
Well, I figure Roxy, I mean, she's from like outside around Hermitude, which is more kind of northerny area. And she
Okay.
also is a rock gnome. So she's used to mountains and tunnel systems and potentially extreme weather swings. So she would have like a little coat, maybe some little ski pants in her book bag she pull out real quick. She's the over prepper. She's going to have... If she was in our world, she would have watched Alone one too many times and like is ready for anything.
I got
She was
this.
a
We're good.
okay. Keitha, what were you saying?
I'm the exact opposite. I don't have any sort of insulating thing. I am made for warm weather, physically and clothes wise. So I have sort of like thin, flowing, silky fabric,
Mhm.
and then like golden plate armor.
Keitha, then I'll need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
If we are to continue. Basically, we're at this. You realize going
18.
Okay, you're totally fine. We're going to skip ahead about an hour of looking down here and finding the occasional Ankeg scratch, you're able to kind of, so far, you're able to say, okay, it couldn't be that tunnel because it couldn't fit. It couldn't be that tunnel because it couldn't fit. And you're kind of able to follow based just on what is like large enough for you to follow.
Every time we come to a Y, Rain's gonna mark with a dagger in the wall. Just so there's a way to track going back. Which,
Dropping the breadcrumbs.
yeah, essentially.
That specifically seems like it's healing. So there's like a flowing water. You saw this in the
hate this.
Ankeg scratches too. And as you kind of mark the wall, you see the water behind it flowing down. You're the one who put the fucking water in. Don't get mad at me.
Put healing
water-
walls.
The water's flowing down, and that's what's forming this this system here. And you're not sure how long that mark is going to last.
So we're moving forward in time an hour.
That is.
Just
I said how
truck
long?
along.
You said till we find Randall. I'm
Yeah.
giving
Okay.
you.
Enhanceability drops after an hour. So
Oh, yeah.
I
Thank you
feel
for being a
suddenly
friend.
lethargic.
Has there been any developments, any more like recent tracks compared to what we saw earlier? Are there like, or is it all healing over?
Would you have any reason to have tracked someone through snow or ice before?
No,
I
live in
don't.
a-
Probably.
Rain, give me a survival check then.
Oh, we lost Emily.
It's
It's
a
been
16.
2 hours. Yep. Emily's bi-hourly internet drop. Welcome back.
Thanks.
Fava fell over briefly.
Listen, Fava's gone a long time without a nap, okay? Probably would have crawled back up into the backpack by now and
Just a little power nap.
zonked. Yep.
Rain, you would guess you're about as far away as you were yesterday. Like you would guess you're probably about a day behind this thing.
Okay. It's far ahead, so we've got a while to go.
How far ahead exactly?
Enough
Like-
that you're going to freeze and we're probably going to have to sleep here.
I'm not
Gosh.
sleeping in a cave. If we don't find him by the time we need to take a rest, I am leaving.
Do we even know what time of day it is right now in relation to that? We're underground, so
I haven't a clue. It could be 40 years. Who knows? I don't like caverns.
I mean, we've been traveling for an hour or two, so
It feels like 40 years.
we came down here at like what? Like morning, noon, so it's probably late afternoon.
If we don't find Randall within the next 6 hours, I say we. I'm sorry, Fava, but I say we leave if we don't find him within the next 6 hours, personally.
Unless they stopped, we're not finding in the next 6 hours. They're like a full day ahead.
Yeah. And I simply can't go on much further. I'm not built for the cold.
all right.
We've got to find Randall. Maybe you can borrow some of Altier's outfits.
Altair, do you have any more?
wearing all of them. I apologize.
How many layers is that?
Like 5. Altier is like just very embarrassed in this point. He's sort of like holding the area around his chest because his like nipples are like daggers right now, because of how cold it is. So yeah, I'm sorry, I can't spare the layers, unfortunately.
All right. Then
let me-
yeah, unless
Come-
anyone has a way of magically or physically making heat for me to sustain myself on, we can't go another day in here.
I mean, there's a quicker way, maybe. We're trying to be quiet. What if we bring them to us
There's no
Oh.
guarantee that it'll bring them. It might just bring things, not necessarily Randall.
True. But the alternative is leaving.
Or
So-
freezing, yeah.
Or freezing. And, I don't know how well Randall would do in this cold either. So,
We can certainly try, but I'd recommend we know exactly how to get out if we make things chase us. I don't think it's a wise idea to, try to scramble back out of here.
yeah.
Speaking of which, have we been mapping out how to get back, on a piece of paper, like marking third exit, fourth exit, fifth exit? Has anyone been doing that? No.
I think
No
Rain
one's
was trying to
mentioned
do
that.
something.
Rain was
like
just
that.
trying to mark the actual physical walls.
Unless somebody suggested it. I mean, I've got the tools.
No,
to do
I
so,
just
but-
thought.
Yeah.
Oh, we probably should have started doing that earlier. All right.
Well,
The second best time to start is now.
Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, Rob.
A little pearl of wisdom from Rob.
Then what's the first best place to start? First best time.
Friends?
You're right.
I don't
the best
remember how
place
the
is
quote
with
goes.
friends.
The best time to plant a tree is 100 years ago. The second best time is
Is right
today.
now.
Yeah, it's something like that. I can't remember the quote.
Aw.
All right. So we're pushing forward.
Mhm.
All right, and we're no longer trying to be stealthy at all.
Well, I'm just,
I mean, don't go yelling hello down the caverns.
I was
See,
not
that was kind of my
attempting any
plan.
kind of stealth on my part. I was just making my way with the rest of you.
All right.
Can we go
I
just
really
a
don't
little
like
bit farther?
caves.
Just
I
a
really
little
don't
bit
like
farther.
bugs. I really don't like this plan, but it's all we got.
Here's a plan.
Keep
We're
walking.
moving, yeah.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
We forge forward.
Hour 2 in the Underscar here. It starts to slope. We're looking, it starts at about a 15-degree slope here, but you realize you're definitely going down. And it is slippery, and there's really no way to walk briskly, except maybe rain. But it is very difficult not to touch the sides of the cavern walls, too. I guess everyone give me a dexterity save.
I'm using my my sword as like an ice pick to pull myself along. That's what I've been doing for the past while.
If I fall, I want to just purposely slide.
Oh,
That's a
Roxy rolled.
17 for Fava.
Roxy rolled a 7.
That's an 8 for Katha.
That's a 0 for Rain.
You said you were sliding.
I'm going.
Which means that is actually a 0 for Fava.
That's true. I did say that I was back in the backpack.
Oh!
Oh, man.
This feels like maybe one person slipped and took out others. And
Yeah, I feel like Rain biffed it and then just slid down and took
It's like
everyone
the
else out with
Super
her.
Mario 64
I mean, Kate was
race.
the only one in front of me, so.
So yeah, Katha's doing a great job ice picking with her sword, kind of making her way down, and then Rain hits a patch of like black ice and just wipes out, knocks into Katha. Ton of noise is made. There's clattering, there's yelling. Fava was probably asleep. You're not 100%
Probably.
sure, but she woke up with a start. I don't think there's any way for any of you to have avoided touching the cave walls. Nothing occurs. No one explodes. Nothing is eaten. No one has any sort of like life energy sucked out of them. It just feels like a fungus or a moss of some sort. Some type of organic material that is kind of tendrilled through these caves here.
If I try to reach out and like grab a vine to like, does it just peel off the wall, or does it like support my weight and I can like catch people?
It peels off a bit, but like at a certain point, yeah, it does support you.
I will try to grab a vine and then grab people as they go by.
All right. So we're at about a 15-degree angle. It's enough to like kind of slide for a while. Give me a dexterity save to see if you can kind of stop the topple train. Stopple the topple train.
18.
You are able to you're able to kind of help Rain get herself righted, and
But I kind of wanted to just keep going. It's like a slide at this point.
Does this
very
technically
fast.
count as difficult terrain? Do you?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm going to use the Traveler ability through my deity's beacon,
Okay.
and I'm going to ignore difficult terrain.
Tell me all about it. What is that? What's a traveler's beacon?
Or it's the deity's beacon, but the Traveler is an ability that I can use that will expend a charge.
Okay.
I get 3 charges? Or actually, no. Wait a second.
Yeah, you get 3.
Yeah, I get 3, but I don't know if this expends a charge. Because it's a bonus action. Oh, wait.
Now I have the Super Mario 64 song in
So-
my head. Like ding 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 ding. And I'm picturing you guys going down the
So as a bonus action, you can give
Can use
yourself
my
30 feet
shield
of
to-
additional movement and ignore difficult terrain until the end of my next turn. Or the end of my turn.
Okay. So yeah, you're able to use this to assist stopping everyone from falling down into this dark cave. You kind of snap to, you get your footing really quickly, and you help Keitha stop the topple.
Oh. All right.
It's gonna
Is
happen again.
everyone
Just giving you the heads
Just-
up.
everyone like use a sword to like pick your way across? Because there might have been just a drop at the end of this. You never know. And I'd rather, walk up to a ledge rather than, slide over it.
Words of wisdom. That was beautiful. Thank you. Mm.
Yeah.
What's
You
life
know,
without
just a
little
personal
danger?
preference.
That's just
And then Keitha, for this hour, give me a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah. I was about to pull that up. Constitution saving throw. Saving throw. Normal. What did I get? A 22.
Very constitute. Surprisingly, despite your protests to the cold, you seem to be faring pretty well. So far, it has not really caused you any physical distress other than being uncomfortable.
All right. Did we miss any caverns on our way down? Like, did we miss any entrance? Did we slide past anything?
You stopped the slide. The slide didn't
Okay.
really occur. You were able to save. We had Altair use an ability to stop it. It kind of like was
Gotcha.
about to become a slip and slide situation, and
Okay.
we stopped it.
Okay. So it's just continuing forward now.
At a angle that seems to, you know what I mean. You're looking as far as you can. Is Mubi still hopping ahead?
Yes. And I'm checking in with him every now and then.
Okay. So are you proceeding down this kind of slope?
Very slowly. I am.
Altair would like to. They're moving down a slope, a steep slope that is very, very slippery. Can I look around to see if there's any indication that an Ankeg bug bearing or dwarf bearing bug person made their way down here?
Yeah, absolutely. Give me a survival check.
An 8.
With an 8, it's hard to really make out what was y'all and what was there already, just from the commotion that has occurred recently.
All right.
I mean,
At what
maybe
point do we
this
just
isn't-
start saying Randall's name? I'm just
I'm
gonna throw
getting
that
very
out
close,
there.
Roxy. You
'Cause
are
I mean-
reading my mind.
It's
Altair, under his breath, says to Roxy, "At what point do we start assuming that Randall is dead?"
well, I think so too. I think so too. Oh, I'm sorry. I should
What do you-
didn't.
what do you think?
I think this has been a really lovely experience thus far, but we're getting to a point where we're gonna need to start drastic measures and then call
Okay.
through.
It's
Randall.
only been a couple of hours. It isn't even. Do you give up this easily on all things?
No, it's just this wasn't really part of my original plan. I appreciate the help that you've given us, and I'm happy to help. And new friends are great and everything, but I didn't really sign
so
up.
we're only
for
worth a couple
this.
hours of your
No,
time.
I just you know.
If
I
we
thought
reach
you were
the
cool,
end of the
and I'm
day,
starting to think you're less cool by the hour with the way you. It's cold.
I mean, temperature-wise,
getting
I'm getting
hurt.
more
It-
cool by the hour.
Oh my
Actually,
god! Oh my god! You know what? She's gonna pull out her little Shelly thing and just shoot it down the ice. And one of the features of Shelly is though it looks like a turtle, it makes a quacking sound. And so she's gonna see if anything, because it can only go like 5 feet ahead of him at a time. She's gonna see if
Okay.
anything comes to the little. You know what? She just throws it and just lets it sling across the ice, down the
that's
hall.
that's mature.
I mean, it's gonna slide down.
Yeah,
So you
Just
hear,
keep going. Bro.
just
so you hear quack 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 quack, and then you see through Mubby's eyes this thing quack 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 quack, and then it just keeps going down the cavern. And you hear quack 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 quack.
okay. So we know it ends eventually off of something, probably, because
Or just went really
I
hard.
got
Just
to
kept
rebuild
going.
that thing now.
What? Why did you do that?
I'm getting hangry, if I'm being perfectly honest. I'm struggling, and it's dark, and things are getting tired, and I'm just
Give me a
It's hard.
perception check. Anyone
just
except for Rain and Roxy.
hard.
Everyone
All right.
except for Rain and Roxy.
I'll
Would-
make a perception check.
So I'm looking through Mubby's eyes. Would it give
Twen-
me
natural 20.
anything extra?
15.
You can make the perception check as a movie.
Oh, okay.
Rain's gonna give Roxy a ration.
Every single time I hear Moby, all I do is think of the Bourne
Eat this.
Identity.
Thank you.
13.
So I got a natural 20 as well.
You are critting your ass. This is makeup for that like crit fail thing you had going on.
Yeah.
So Katha and Altair, as they're kind of like arguing a little bit, and Rain's being snarky and Roxy's getting frustrated, you just hear this like, and you hear like a crunching sound all the way down the end of the cavern. You'd guess maybe like 200 feet.
Oh, for the love of both.
And you
Everyone,
don't hear the quacks no more.
Roxy, your thing got eaten by a bug. Bugs are coming. Everyone get to the top of the slope. We don't want to be fighting on a slope. Get to the top.
Oh, but
And
okay,
Katha will just start
We've been
summoning
traveling on
Hanul.
a slope for a minute, though. So, like,
yeah.
Yeah. Katha's just going to start swapping up and
Just-
like laddering with Hanul up.
Bugs?
Bugs.
Fava goes
Wait.
glassy-eyed, and Mubby is going forward. As soon as she hears that there's something down there, Mubby's going.
Down?
Yes. Still shadow hopping and
Okay.
invisible, but
It takes a while. Not like a while, but like it's not like 2 hops. We're talking like
Yeah.
you're making your way down, and Katha is booking it like Tom Cruise running up the cave. Your Mubby is going. Is it Mubby? Moby? Am I saying? I feel
Mubby.
like I say it different. Mubby
Ah.
is going down. You get to the point where this cave evens off into a just no more slope. Opens up. You see light. You would guess this is maybe like a 30-foot little room here. There is a campfire. there is a large insectoid creature, an ankeg. You would know what an ankeg looks like, with a small duck in its little pincers.
It
A
looks
small
like a turtle. It looks like
Turtle.
a turtle, but
The turtle quacks.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah,
Just
that's the
sheer
the joke.
confusion. Just
It's got a little turtle in its little pincers. Looks to be like I think I already mentioned this, like a campfire that is no longer aflame, but there you do see like little wisps of smoke coming out of this, and then you see at least 3 other exits from here. The bug doesn't seem as if it is charging. It looks like it's just chewing on this little toy that got thrown to it.
So, there's the I found the ankeg. I'm sorry it ate your turtle. But
I can make another turtle. Look, you found it. It's down there.
yes,
Oh.
Randall's not there though. Only the bug. But there was a fire. There was a fire there.
Was the tunnel just straight, and were there any fall offs at any point?
There were no fall offs, right?
There are 3 tunnels that exit from this little cavern area. None of them immediately look like a drop off. You don't see any chasms or anything.
But like the tunnel.
And
to
we're
the
asking if I
cavern.
just slide the rest of the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, you could just slide the rest of the way.
All right, time to go get Randall.
Keitha is somewhat far
Running
away,
jump.
as far as 15 feet, 30-foot swap, 15 feet, 30-foot swap will get her for like however long that was. So she's pretty far away by now, probably.
It's still the same amount of. It's still the same amount. You can only summon your thing 15 feet away, and then swapping
30
takes
feet
15
away.
feet.
I can
It's
summon it
fif-
up to 30 feet.
It's 15 feet. You're not going to get any extra speed from the summoning. It's specifically meant to be like a combat thingy. I can work with you later on maybe making some improvements to this to do some of the cool stuff. But as far as using it to run really fast, it's a 15 feet summon, and then it
Oh.
takes 15 feet to swap.
And it can move 30 feet on my turn.
And then yeah, it can move like normal, but because it takes some of your speed to swap, it's almost like
Gotcha.
they intended it to not be used as like an anime run where they like
Gotcha. Yeah.
um
Yeah. I had misread that.
but I mean you booked it. You were very clear you're running
Yeah.
out of the cave. So
Yeah.
you're
I'm not running out. I'm running to the top of the slope, like wherever the top of the slope is, and looking down.
Gotcha. So I mean it took about an hour.
Oh,
Of-
the slope was an hour long?
Yeah. We've been
Yeah.
traveling for a minute.
You
Yeah.
guys have been traveling for 2 hours now.
Oh, I thought the slope, like, we got there on this hour.
You got there
On the
last
first
hour
hour.
was no
Over an
slope.
hour.
Okay.
Yeah,
In
Yeah,
that
then the
case,
second hour.
I would simply be slowly running up the slope then, not trying to get to the top, because I would have to run an hour.
It's difficult terrain, but you're booking it out. I
Yeah.
understand that. So you could still hear them if they were
Yeah.
to shout or something to that effect.
Fava will come back. Her eyes will re-alight.
I know that you don't know Randall, and I know that you were trying to get to Bandstool. If you help us find Randall, you go back to Bandstool a hero. Which means they will be more likely to help you with whatever you need, and I will be there to help you, and please help find Randall.
I have been waiting for this moment my entire life. Let's go get Randall. She's gonna. That was it. That's all she needed.
Finding Randall, a 1994 song. My name
I-
is Casey Kasem.
Rain's gonna take out her shield and ride it like a sled and just run and
Keitha
Okay.
hearing Roxy yell Randall probably would turn back around, look down at her hands momentarily, resign herself, and then just slide down. Hearing Randall.
So I'm gonna end this episode with just our heroes sledding down this icy cave. Roxy reinvigorated with the new energy of someone asking nicely. We've got We've got Rain sledding on her shield. Keitha is, despite everything inside of her telling her not to, is choosing the power of friendship and heading back down deeper into the cave. And that's going to be where we leave off our episode for today. Andy, do you want to share what the secret chaos roll was for our weaving?
Sure. The secret chaos roll, if you haven't guessed, was everything gets turned to icy tundra, cold horribleness. So everything.
Wonderful.
Most
Great.
things are going to have a cold spin, which is why I said no to very deep chasms in the very beginning.
The chasms were scaring the crap out of me.
Go sliding off.
That's
down
why I
into
said
No
that was
worlds.
one where I'm like, I'm not going chaos. We're not doing this.
Yep.
So everything you said, but it's sub-zero temperatures and ice.
Oh, boy.
So now you get a little taste of chaos. That's what we rolled. That was the roll that we did at the beginning of weaving last time.
Oh God, does that apply to levels 2 and 3 as well? Is
Yes,
this the
it
same?
absolutely does. So the Batites have, I already imagined they have like furry like manes. Like they have. Have you ever seen bats
They're
that have like
floofy.
furry?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're also little fluffy furry bats.
I
Um,
love them
I love it.
so much.
With a little glow.
Yeah, and
I'm
then,
so excited.
ah!
Yeah.
So I lean
want
all the
4
way
of 'em.
back when I do that. Listeners, viewers, everyone, whether you're on TikTok, I don't know if TikTok worked. I was not staring at it. I should probably.
I
have.
was.
It
did.
262 viewers on TikTok. That's not too bad.
Hello, TikTok.
YouTube. Everyone who's watching, if you could, do me a favor, hit the follow button, hit the subscribe button on YouTube, ding that little bell. You'll never miss a live. We're live every other week on Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern. If you haven't been able to pick it up, this is a, excuse me, a part collaborative world building, part actual play series. Very burpy all of a sudden.
The goat
Apologies.
screams.
It's
I
all
got
that
to you.
yelling.
All the yelling. Where the players basically get to kill themselves with all of these amazing creations. They get to explore a world of their own creation. I'm having a lot of fun. I think players are too, hopefully. And like I said, we're live every other week. You can go to actualplaypods.com and find links to any of our channels, but most importantly, our Discord. Our Discord's a pretty happening, pretty cool place. Really proud of the Discord. So check that out if you need some new friends. The actualplaypods.com will get you there. So thank you everyone so much for watching, listening, and I will see everyone in a couple weeks for the next episode of World Weavers.
Bye.
Bye.